What's up, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Build My List. This is where, once a week, we go in and we build a list. We explain the thought process behind our decisions. We go through the whole process. This is two Art of War coaches figuring out what's going to go in an army list. As always, I'm going into this with basically no list written. As a matter of fact, I just have a blank, file on my GW app, and I'm going to be filling it in with today's army. Salamanders.
Salamanders, a chapter we have not seen before.
Indeed, I'm very excited for this, and I'm excited to be here with you, Quinton.
I know, I'm always excited to be here with you, John.
All right, so this should be a really fun one. We haven't had Space Marines. I think we've had Blood Angels.
We have Blood Angels,
but we haven't had the good old-fashioned Space Marine Gladius detachment.
Gladius Strike Force.
On to this video. So let's start off by, kind of exploring what we're doing. So we are playing this as Salamanders. In order for the army to even qualify as Salamanders, it has to have the Salamander keyword in it. At least once.
At least once.
At an absolute bare minimum, there's got to be a Salamander in this list. So
who's that going to be?
Basically, there are two characters to choose from. So there's Adrax Agatone, and then there is Vulcan Hestan. So I'm just going to pull both of them up,
right.
And I'm just going to kind of take a quick peek through them to kind of decide which of these characters is going to go on my list. I've played Salamanders a bit in 9th edition. I haven't put either of these characters on the table yet in 10th. Frankly, I haven't really looked at them much in 10th. But we know that there's a bunch of diehard Salamander fans out there. I'm quite fond of the chapter myself, so we're going to figure out what this is going to look like.
I like Salamanders because they're like the good guys of 40k.
You know what? I like Salamanders because they burn all their children. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Even the good guy Space Marines, still a little terrible. Remember that. All right, so let's kind of start off with Adrax Agatone. He's,
right.
The new Primaris boy, new kid on the block.
He's got one of the coolest ability names in all of 40k.
Really? Well, I'm about to get there.
Yeah. I'll let you see what it is.
All right, so he's a captain, right? He's a Primaris captain. He has 5 wounds. He has a 2-up save, which is nice. He's like a slightly better Primaris captain. He comes with a very respectable, flamer. Mm-hmm. It's like D6 plus 3, but that's not why we're going to take him, right? Just like, oh, cool, there's a better flamer here. That's nice. And of course, he has Malleus Noctum, a pretty good Thunderhammer. That's not dev wounds, but hits on 2s and his strength 10, damage 3. And then what we're taking him for is, of course, his rules. So he has Unto the Anvil.
That's it.
It's pretty good. Unto the Anvil of War. It's like a Salamander saying. Mm-hmm. And so while this model is leading a unit, whenever that unit makes a melee attack, reroll wounds.
That's just very good.
Wounds in melee for his unit, and it's not charge dependent. It's not first round of combat. Just the unit he is attached to hits harder. That's good. We're going to see who we can join in a second. The second part is that while an enemy unit is within engagement range, you can have their OC.
Also surprisingly good.
Surprisingly useful. If you ever get into a grindy combat with something like Necron Warriors, Custodes Guard, usually aren't in a grindy combat with those, but Necron Warriors, Lich Guard for sure, it can be quite relevant there. So pretty decent rules. The reroll wounds is the main part of this. Yes. Having OC is nice, but if you're going into something with a unit he's attached to, you're hoping to do enough damage that you're outnumbering them anyways, if I'm being honest. Now, he is a leader. He can join Assault Intercessors, so melee unit.
Yep.
Infernus, Intercessors, Stern Guard Veterans.
Not melee units.
Hey, I'm going to be honest here. Assault Intercessors is the only unit that's remotely interesting.
Yes.
Stern Guard rerolling wounds is kind of cool. There are 4 attacks each.
They're still Space Marines.
They are still Space Marines.
They'll beat, Acolytes to death.
Yeah, and he himself will get the rerolls, but he doesn't make the Stern Guard better.
No, I'd rather have a captain for a free strat.
Exactly. So, in my mind, if we're considering Adrax, it would be the Adrax plus Assault Intercessor package.
Okay.
Now.
So that's option 1.
Option number 1. Option number 2 is Vulcan Hestan. Mm-hmm. He's the old guard of Salamanders. This dude's...
Yes.
I think this model is as old as the Thunderfire cannon, but is somehow still around, even though the Thunderfire is about to go
not
away.
a bad model.
It's not a bad model.
R.I.P. Thunderfire.
Sad. So we have yet another Space Marine captain profile.
What a shock.
He's also 2-up save. He is the same profile, same top line as Adrax to the letter. Both had a 4-up invuln, of course. He also comes with a better than you'd expect flamer.
It's strength 6 AP 1, D6 plus 3. It's a shockingly good flamer.
Yeah, Adrax's is the same stats, just strength 4, but pistol.
Yes.
So this is strength 6, not pistol. This is probably better, but the difference in the flamer is not what's going to be selling me here.
Yeah.
So, melee weapons. He has a worse melee weapon. So 6 attacks at 2 plus 6, 2, 2.
It's still not bad, though.
Perfectly fine. Neither of these characters are crazy. This is going to come down purely to comparing abilities. Special rules and then looking at the points cost and seeing which one I actually like. Now, let me actually mention those points cost just while we're here. 195. These are as close to identical as possible. Mm-hmm. So 5-point difference, very unlikely to make or break the list here. let's go ahead and actually look at these abilities. Film of Pain 6 up on Vulcan. That's kind of cool.
Not bad.
And because he's a Forge Father, in the shooting phase, you pick one enemy unit within 24 inches invisible. All friendly Space Marines can reroll wounds against that with Melta or Torrent weapons.
So it's kind of like a baby oath.
It is like a baby oath.
I don't hate that. I actually quite like that.
Yeah, and that is cool because you can oath one target and then pick like something else and just be like, oh yeah, and also we're going to reroll a bunch of stuff.
That is worse than you'd think because a lot of the relevant Flamer Melta weapons already have built-in reroll wounds. Aggressors have twin linked, Eradicators reroll wounds naturally against relevant targets. And then you're like, well, okay, the one Melta gun in the Tactical Marine Squad rerolls wounds, but...
No, I don't think Vulcan's going to get me taking tactical squads.
No, I don't think he is either.
So where could this be useful?
What if we took Devastators, the 4 multi-meltas?
So Devastators with multi-meltas, because there's a lot of different, pretty decent Space Marine units that have some kind of flamer or melta weapon. So Devastators with meltas, and then Sternguard can no longer take melta weapons, so that's kind of sad. But Devastators can take them, Eradicators come with them, and then like tactical squads can take them.
Cool.
But if you're not taking more than a couple, I don't really care.
No.
So in my mind, it's Eradicators and Devastators.
Yeah.
Eradicators reroll wounds innately against monsters and vehicles, which is most of the stuff you need again.
Yeah.
Attack bikes can take multi-meltas.
Can you just take the one? How many points is like an attack bike with a multi-melta?
That's a great question, and I have no idea. To finish out the rest of Vulcan's thing, though, at the beginning of the battle, he picks one objective marker, and he gets OC 10 and a 4+ Film of Pain while he's on that objective.
Which is, like, not amazing, but is very cute, and will probably come up, like, twice in a tournament.
Also gives his unit leadership 5+ while they're on that objective. It's very funny. Like, if you just pick the center objective and Vulcan's unit just runs onto it, that could be quite good. He is a leader. Let's talk about who we can join. Assault Squad, that's the foot version. Command Squad, Infernus Squad, Tactical Squad.
The Infernus Squad is the one that, in my mind...
Infernus Squad definitely is the one that makes the most sense. It's the only Primaris unit of those options, which doesn't really matter from a rules perspective. It'll just affect some transport stuff.
Yeah.
What it mainly means is that he is bringing a Flamer Squad with him that doesn't inherently roll wounds.
I actually don't. I liked Infernus Marines. I really like Infernus Marines that reroll all wounds.
It will end up causing a lot more wounds than you think.
Yeah, are they 4-1-1?
I want to say they're 5-0-1. Oh,
that's sad.
Which is a little different. Yep.
You can put them in Dev Doctrine and give them an AP, right?
Yep, you could use it while they're in Dev Doctrine. You could spend a stratagem to give them Ignores Cover and AP1. Obviously, the Ignore Cover part is redundant, but getting AP1 in there is
AP1 can matter a lot sometimes.
It absolutely can. It absolutely can.
Okay.
So, that's what Vulcan does.
Cool.
Now, let's kind of look back at that little conversation about what the different Melta and Flamer options are. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at what we can do with a Melta unit.
Okay.
So, multi-Meltas, let's go ahead and pull up the attack bike. Because I know, funny enough, a lot of the random Space Marine units that are about to get discontinued, but are still here right now. Maybe this is how we get the attack bikes on the battlefield one more time. But like land speeders as well can take multi-Meltas. Attack bikes can take multi-Meltas. Attack bikes do come in a squad. They go up to 3. They're 55 points a model. And obviously it's free to take a Melta weapon.
So it's like 165 for 3 multi-Meltas?
Yeah. You're going to get better multi-Melta point value out of Devastators.
Yeah. I don't know. They're kind of cheap idiots. Are they still like toughness 5, 4 wounds each, right?
They are toughness 5, 4 wounds each.
So they're not hard to kill, but they are...
I'm sorry, they are 5 wounds each.
They're 5 wounds each?
Yeah, 3 up save, T5, 5 wounds.
Okay, so they're like solidly annoying to kill.
Yep.
Right? They're not easy to kill. They're not hard to kill. They're just annoying to kill.
Yep. Would you like to hear their ability?
Yes.
It's weird.
Okay, what is it?
Once per turn, in your opponent's shooting phase, when a friendly mounted unit within 6 inches of this unit is selected as the target of an attack, this unit can use this ability, and after finish making an attack, it can shoot your shooting phase at that target.
So they're what Wraith Guards are supposed to be.
Yeah, so if you shoot at a friendly mounted unit within 6 inches of this unit. Funny enough, I see no reason that wouldn't include itself.
It certainly would.
Because it's not says another. Just
so if we take 9 attack bikes and run them in a triangle, if you shoot the first one, you get shot back by the other 2?
By all 3.
Oh, yeah. Assume the first one dies.
Assuming the first one dies, yeah, the other 2 would shoot you. Now, that's good. It is 18-inch range.
Oh, that is much less good. I was thinking 24.
24 is not the same, sadly.
No.
So it feels a little avoidable.
Yeah. So it's like $450 for that package-ish.
Yeah, a little more.
In that
but yeah, I
ballpark.
think it's $495.
Oh, that's too many points. It is a lot of chunk, though.
It is a lot of chunk. It's a lot of
What about the Invader ATV? What does that thing do?
A good question.
It is multi-melter, right, on the top?
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
So other data sheets, it can have that. I honestly want to say that the Invader ATV has a similar rule.
Okay.
It's 80 points for an Invader. Let's find out what an Invader does.
So we're paying, was it 20 more points? 30 more points.
30 or 25 more
25.
points, yeah. All right, so let's find out what the Invader ATV does. Abilities.
So we're getting...
Exact same ability.
Okay, so we're basically getting +3 wounds.
Plus 3 wounds and a different gun for a not insignificant amount of points.
What's the front gun? Is it still bolter?
It's 2 bolters. It's 2, it's 1 twin bolt rifle.
That's not worth 30 points.
No. The attack bike is much better than the
Okay, cool. So we're ignoring the Invader ATV.
I'll also point out the Invader ATV does not come in units anymore.
Okay, so that thing's terrible.
So, where we're at right now, neither of those are that exciting.
No.
You can take solo land speeders.
Okay, how many points is a solo land speeder?
They're also 80.
Ugh.
That's
a lot of points for one multi-melta.
It is. None of this is efficient so far.
No. What about, isn't there one of the storm speeders that has like 3 multi-meltas or something? Oh, it has 3 last talons.
That's the Thunder Strike. The Hammer Strike, I'm willing to entertain here, does come with a melta weapon on the front. Let me just look this up. But we are very quickly running out of melta units besides Devastators.
I like Devastators.
I'm not opposed to that.
A reasonable amount of points for 4 multi-meltas.
Yeah. Let me just real quick. All right, go back to that. I'm going to look at the Hammer Strike. What does the Cherub do again?
Is it you get to flip? Is it
flip a hit roll to a 6?
Just a hit roll, okay.
Which honestly means you save it for Overwatch.
Yeah.
So boop boop.
Because you can do it on like damage. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So the Hammer Strike does come with a Melta Destroyer, which is 3. It's 3 multi-melta shots.
How many points is that?
The Hammer Strike is 160.
And what do it give you?
That's the good question. So the ability of the Hammer Strike is you strip cover off of an enemy that you hit with his weapons.
It's like weirdly good on multiple weapons.
Removing cover is pretty nice.
Like, it's AP4, right?
Yep, it's 3 shots at strength 9 AP4.
So that
only 18-inch range.
That 18-inch range, though.
18-inch range comes up a lot to bite us in the butt.
The difference between a 6-up save and a 7-up save is huge, though.
I agree. I like ignore cover, just telling people to stop taking saves.
I don't hate... Let's put one of those in our back pocket. Right now, so the options I like so far are Devastators, Inferno Squads, and the Land Raider Redeemer.
Yeah. So, I do like the idea of Land Raider Redeemer. I'm going to pull up Devastators. This is like the last Melta thing I'm considering, and then I think we're going
to move on.
Yep, then we're moving on from that, sadly. But I do want to just check how many points Devastators are. My memory is 120, and that's correct. So 120 points, 4 multi-meltas. So
that is by far the most efficient multi-melta.
Oh, not even close, yeah. And then you could give you can take a bunch of different weapons for the Sergeant. None of them are Melta related.
Sure, yeah.
But still, 8 Melta shots that could then be hitting. See, here's
they hit on 4s though.
So I'm gonna be, that's the thing is that a multi-melta hits on 4s, and so I want to reroll hits with it.
Yeah.
Which is Oath.
Oh, it is Oath.
There are ways to get hit mods in there. Mm-hmm. You could having cursors kind of shoot something with bolt guns, get your army +1 to hit against it.
That'll run a lot of points for 4 multi-meltas that walk and are gonna shoot.
Well, let me be clear. This is gonna be 8 multi-meltas. There is 0 scenario where I'm taking 1 multi-melta unit.
Yeah, okay. So, how many points are in cursors?
They're like 95.
I mean, there's a forward deploy, right?
Yeah. It's like a worse infiltrator squad that procs +1 to hit.
Okay.
Gets the Melta shooting a little better.
I wish we could take like Deathwatch style, have like 4 infiltrators and 1 incursor in a unit.
I wish Deathwatch could do that too.
Yeah.
They sadly cannot.
No, it's sad.
They do. They just lose the infiltrator and the incursor rules. Yeah, so you don't
that's
get
the word. What?
Yeah, no, you don't get any rules. So
what? It's 4 dudes and 1 guy gets paired combat knives.
Yeah, they don't get any of the rules, so they get a new special rule that's worse.
Okay.
But this is Salamanders. So it is taking a lot of hoops to jump through to try to consider a Melta weapon, and each time I think, boy howdy, could this have been Oath of Moment instead?
It sure could have.
And every time it feels like it could have, and if I want Melta shots with rerolls, it feels like it's just Eradicators.
Okay, so why don't we just... Which already have rerolls.
So
why don't we just ignore Meltas and we'll say he's giving our flame weapons reroll wounds.
I think that's where this is going.
And at that point, it's Infernus Marines and...
A Land Raider Redeemer has good flamers.
What if we did double Land Raider Redeemer?
Double?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is kind of spicy.
Like, right? Like you...
Look, I'm not here to tell you no.
You drive 2 Land Raider Redeemers up, you flame the heck out of something, you flame the heck out of something else when it twitches in their movement phase. Then you oath a third thing, and you get out with whatever your deadly payload is, and you charge it. That sounds kind of fun to play.
The nice thing here is that since Vulcan only gives reroll wounds, you don't feel like you're missing any efficiency on flame weapons.
Yeah,
because I just don't trust Meltas that don't reroll
hits.
hits.
They also come with a multi-melt on top.
Which is nice.
Which, yeah, it's
bonus,
relevant,
right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and add Vulcan. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's either Vulcan and Land Raider Redeemers, or it's Adrax and Assault Intercessors, potentially both.
Okay, I'm gonna add Vulcan.
All right, Vulcan is 95. Vulcan Hestan.
I'm just gonna write Vulcan.
Just Vulcan.
Yeah. Actually, how do you spell Hestan?
There you go. H-E, then like apostrophe S-T-A-N.
Okay, so I thought I was, but I was not 100% sure.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. For 100 points, Adrax and an Assault Intercessor unit is kind of cool.
It's really not bad.
Yeah, because what I like is that his buffs, they don't stack with Oath, but they do help you, like, dig things out. It also works in, obviously it works in melee against something like you weren't going to shoot, and it feels like a lot of times Oath is the shooting target.
I agree.
And so I think that a bunch of Assault Intercessors just going in Assault Doctrine, spending a CP for Lance plus 1 AP, and then reroll wounds, that is going to put a lot of...
Is he where Adrax Earthshade is from?
He is not.
Oh. How do you spell it, Adrax? It's always these friggin' the sci-fi names.
So Agatone, you spelled it right.
Yes!
Nice. Adrax is actually Agrax Earthshade.
Oh, what is
there
Agrax?
might be a G in there.
Oh,
I'm not even sure. It's not from him, that's all I know.
It is Agrax Earthshade, you're right.
He costs a hundo.
Okay.
So, I kind of want both.
I agree.
Neither of them are that expensive.
This list is going to be really fun, too.
Yep, and I think this is going to be a list that is trying to push in the middle, because one of the problems that we have with Space Marines in general is that, and there's a couple ways to solve this, to be fair, it's that Space Marines are really good at killing things with Oath of Moment, and they are very bad at killing things without Oath of Moment.
How many points is in Assault Intercessor squad?
We're jumping ahead here, but also go ahead and put it as, memory says 170.
For an Assault Intercessor squad?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, that's expensive.
Well, it's for 10.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, to be clear.
Okay. I was like...
I'm not messing with a 5-man.
No, you were going 10-man.
So, one of the problems we have with Space Marines, one of the things that I want to fundamentally solve here. Space Marines are bad at killing multiple units.
Yes.
Now, the chapters that are doing best right now competitively are, honestly, Deathwatch, Dark Angels, Ultramarines. 2 of those armies hinge a lot of their identity off of being able to deal damage anyways, or have access to Oath.
Or double
multiple times. Deathwatch can double Oath, Goleman lets you double Oath. Dark Angels have other ways to supplement their damage, and also have access to a lot of different data sheets that naturally hit a little harder than the average Space Marine. For example, Landspeeder Vengeances, which are inherently twin-linked.
Yes.
So I think that we need to build a Space Marine army, because one of the reasons I want to do Salamanders is to kind of avoid the cliched chapters that we know are relatively good Space Marine chapters.
Yeah.
I want to give a little bit of love to the unloved Space Marines here, because I know a lot of these chapters that, Salamanders lost to their codex, they lost their stratagem, they don't have a detachment. I'm sure we'll get one of those eventually, but right now, kind of don't.
Brotherhood of the Flame chapter.
I do want the Flame Spear detachment.
Oh, yeah.
So the Flame Spear Task Force.
Oh, that's what it's going to be, yeah.
I hope so, honestly. Yeah. It's ridiculous, but I want it. So I think building in 2 different characters that give you a lot of reroll wounds access can help a lot, because you almost never, if you only have 1 Oath, you don't Oath your melee target. Because the shooting's first, right? So I think 10 Assault Intercessors with the Vulcan, or with Adrax, 270 is a little expensive, but let's look at what an Assault Intercessor does, right? Because it is, it's 180 for, I thought an Assault Intercessor was going to be cheaper than it actually ended up being. I'm sad. All right.
280, so this unit is actually kind of expensive.
It's a little bit expensive. An Astartes Chainsword is 4 attacks at 411. And obviously we're going to be putting a Thunderhammer on the Sergeant, because if I'm rerolling wounds, I want the dead wounds.
Yeah.
But just going in with 4 attacks each at 411, that's 36 attacks from the 9 dudes. when you get that Lance plus 1 AP in Assault Doctrine,
+1 to wound. You're wounding everything in the game on 5s.
minimum. Rerolling wounds. That will
AP2?
AP2. That will add up a very respectable
You like start to kill vehicles at that point.
You definitely do. So let's like look at this, right? Like, what does it take to kill an Armiger? This is always like an Armiger is a nice benchmark I like to use for a lot of my melee units. Like, all right, can you kill an Armiger?
Yeah.
Just a regular like Chaos War Dog or something.
Yeah.
You know, since I'm playing an Imperium faction, I use a War Dog here. So if I'm trying to kill a War Dog, I want to get it to fail 12 3-up saves.
Yep.
If I'm putting AP2 into it,
it's a 12 5-up saves.
Yes, fail 12 5-up saves. That means I'm going to put about 18 5-up saves on it. So let's work backwards. If I'm trying to get it to fail 18, take 18 5-up saves, I need 18 wound rolls. I'm wounding this on 5s rerolling here. So 5s rerolling is 5 out of 9, so times 9 divided by 5. I need to put 32 hits on it, which means that the Assault Intercessor squad that's just hitting on 3s with no rerolls because we don't have an Oath on this, would take 48 attacks to kill it with Assault Intercessor Chainswords. We're not putting out that many, we're putting out 36. But if we're putting 9 wounds on it, then I think I trust
Adrax to get the last one. I trust
Adrax and a Thunderhammer Sergeant to finish that off.
Because he's going to be wounding on 3s full rerolls. And he needs 1 to go through.
Yeah.
I think he can do that.
I think this unit could just go rock out of a transport, kill a War Dog fairly likely.
Yep.
You also have either a Power Fist or a Thunderhammer on the Sergeant.
Yeah, which is like respectable damage.
Very respectable damage coming through as well.
Yeah.
So, and let's just find out what the abilities of an Assault Squad are. Oh no.
What?
Oh, this is so terrible.
Do they have real wounds already?
Yep.
No! Oh god.
What is Adrax doing in here?
It's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, each time this enemy targets an enemy unit with a melee attack, reroll the wound roll of 1. If they're on an objective, reroll the wound roll instead.
Well, that's sad, actually. Oh, god.
That was the whole reason we wanted Adrax.
Okay, he's gone.
I hate to say it, I think Adrax is gone and Vulcan's in. That's because Adrax doesn't have... No, I was going to leave the Assault Intercessors.
Oh, really? Okay.
I kind of like them. Because now it's just like, I was considering paying $280 for this unit, and now I'm paying $180.
That's fair. 180 is a lot. It's actually quite respectable.
Yeah, that's not expensive.
Okay.
But yeah, wow. Well, this is genuinely how we find out live, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is exactly
This is exactly how... We've had these types of conversations
all the time.
Table so many times.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
The car back from ATC was this.
Adrax is out.
Yeah, he's...
Vulcan's in. I still want these Land Raider Redeemers, though.
Oh, I want 2 of them.
Luckily... I know that the Land Raider Redeemers do not inherently reroll their wounds. I also don't mind Infernus Marines just to get that real wounds from Vulcan potentially. Just if you need to chunk saves on someone, that can be very good.
So I'm gonna just move that down. We're gonna copy and paste.
Nice. That's okay. I don't mind getting a little bit, just like a little bit less points spent on that unit anyways. That I wasn't feeling great about Adrax plus Assault Intercessors being a little bit too expensive.
How many points is this thing?
Land Raider Redeemer, because we know that boy's coming to the list. You know what? Let's go ahead and cut Adrax out of there. Delete.
Sorry, Adrax. Yeah.
You are a painted model that I would love to use.
I think he's on the shelf over there. Is he?
No, that's Calgar.
Oh, okay.
That's Calgar up there. So...
No, he's also over there. Behind...
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever.
But we've got a Land Raider Redeemer. So, 295.
Is there 1 E Redeemer?
There is 2 E's
Haha.
Redeemer. So there's actually 4 E's total if we're being, fancy about it.
Alright.
So 1 Land Raider Redeemer.
And we're going to give it... I'm just going to write the good stuff, because I don't feel like typing out Hunter Killer Missile and things.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
It's completely true. 1 Land Raider Redeemer... I honestly think I do want to. Like, if we're leaning into let's make this
doing
this,
wounds, yeah.
let's do it. An Assault Intercessor unit is not a bad hammer. It's definitely not the only hammer I want.
No, I want something else that can pack a punch.
So here's something that I actually really want. I really like Aggressors.
Okay.
You could take Flamers Aggressors because Salamanders.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're already twin-linked. They're not getting anything special by being Salamanders in this instance because Vulcan isn't buffing them at all.
We're already using our Overwatch somewhere else.
We're already using our Overwatch on something else. I actually want to take Bolter Aggressors.
Okay.
Because I like the range and because we have a lot of these units that inherently ignore cover. I'm okay taking one unit that's trying to volume people out that doesn't ignore cover. And I think that if this list is trying to push up field, we don't want to leave a fragile Desolator Castle that has to be protected.
How many points are your aggressors?
I don't think they're actually that much. I think it's 100. Yeah, 110. So 220 for 6.
That's really.
And these are going to be Bolt Storm aggressors. All right. Goodbye, attack bike unit. So sad.
So sad. You're not good.
With the amount of flamers in this list, by the way, I think that hammer strike is absolutely getting cut.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was in the app, so I was just saying it before it got booted. But 6 aggressors. I like Bolt Storm gauntlets here. We've already got them in. Just to kind of go over why I like aggressors, is that their ranged weapons are basically 3 shots from the Bolt Storm, D6 from the Frag Storm. So at close range, it's D6 plus 3 blast at 401. But the special, and of course they have a twin linked weapon skill 4 Power Fist.
Yeah, it's like not terrible.
So twin linked is nice. But their abilities are important, which is that they are +1 AP whenever they make a ranged attack against the closest double unit.
Oh wow, that's not quite good.
Which is quite good.
Oh, cool.
So you can get that to AP1, and if you happen to use the +1 AP stratagem, that also gives you ignore cover when you're in Death Doctrine. So you can get this unit putting out a very respectable amount of AP to quantity of shots.
Okay, what if we add a guy with Bolster Discipline?
We are absolutely adding someone with Bolter Discipline to this unit.
Okay, who's it going to be?
It's the Apothecary Biologus.
The Harm Assist.
The Harm Assist. That is because this Apothecary... after the... Yep.
Apothecary?
No.
Oh.
Apothecary? No, I think it's an A. Okay, fine. Maybe it's an E. I think it's an E. Final answer. Yeah, we tried everything but you. There you go. It's got to be an E. It's got to be an E.
Is it Apothecary?
We're going to find out together.
Let's find out.
Do Warhammer players know how to spell? It's an E. I told you. I was right all along.
Apothecary.
Apothecary Biologus. I like how we all know how to spell Biologus, but none of us know how to spell Apothecary.
Yeah, okay.
He's cheap. He's 55.
55?
We are getting him an enhancement.
Okay.
So the Apothecary Biologus does is he does some cool OC stuff where if his unit kills something in melee, his OC goes from like 1 to 9 or something ludicrous.
Something crazy, yeah.
The main thing is that he gives the unit lethal hits. That makes him an excellent carrier for Bolter Discipline.
What is Bolter Discipline?
SCIPL. No.
This.
SC. No. SCIPLINE.
I can't spell you guys.
It's fine. That one I knew.
Okay.
Apothecary might have taken me a minute to get it right the first time.
All right, cool.
80 points after that enhancement.
All right. God.
So
why is Bolter Discipline 25 points?
Because it's amazing. Are you asking why it's not 40?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because it should be. It could be more than I would pay it for. I'd pay 50 for it without even blinking.
Yeah.
I'd find something else to cut. So Bolter Discipline is amazing. And let me just explain why for any of you who are uninitiated into the glories of the Gladius Task Force. Bolter Discipline gives the unit critical hits. So whatever unit this enhancement is attached to, they get critical hits of 5+ in Dev Doctrine. And they get sustained hits 1. So they get sustained hits 1 all the time. When they're in Dev Doctrine, they get critical hits on a 5+. Now, those critical hits could apply to anything. It doesn't give them sustained hits on a 5+. So the Apothecary Biologus happens to bring lethal hits as well. That means every time this unit rolls a 5 to hit, it is a wound and an additional hit.
That's so good.
So if you're rocking up with D6 plus 3 shots on 6 models, 18 plus 66, let's just throw blast out of the window.
Yeah.
But if we theoretically had blast, it gets better. If you don't have blast, no big deal. We're averaging 21 plus 18, 39 shots. So if I just shoot without Oath, I get 26 hits if I don't have any of these upgrades. If I shoot without Oath, with this Apothecary Biologus attached, I still get 26 hits, and also 13 wounds. Doesn't matter the toughness of the target. And as soon as you get Oath involved, because so far we're building a lot of stuff into this list that doesn't need Oath, but if you do get Oath involved, this unit is going to hit a lot harder. I really like this package. I think it's great. We've tried out the Bolter Discipline a couple times on aggressors. It's very fun. And because this list is trying to push, I don't want that indirect castle.
No.
Desolators are amazing. We all know it. Good indirect is good. 40k goes on.
What a shock, yeah.
The sun keeps turning. Let's try it without it. No Desolators, less of a backfield. This is a Space Marine army that's trying to play the way Space Marines should, which is driving a spear tip through the opponent's face.
Yep. Do we want someone to join these Assault Intercessors?
Maybe. They might get cut.
Okay.
But
we'll see.
We'll see. So
how many points are we at right now?
So far we're not. I mean, let me make sure that I've got all of this and only this in my list. So Biologus with Bolter Discipline. Let's make sure I actually have that. Cool. Vulcan, 10 Assault Intercessors, 6 Aggressors, 2 Land Raider Redeemers is where we're at right now.
Okay.
If we don't have any Devastators in, because I had those in at the moment, we are at 1165.
So
Plenty of points left.
We're about halfway there.
Yeah, we're definitely over the halfway line.
So our assume is that these guys go in one, these guys go in the other?
Yep, so Land Raider Redeemer holds, let me just double check. My memory is that it holds 14 slots.
Guys, and the aggressors take up 2, right?
Yep, so Transport, 14 models, Gravis or Terminator or Wolfen or Jump Pack take up 2.
Cool.
Centurion take up 3. So we can just look at this and say, all right, cool. 1 Land Raider Redeemer with an Aggressor package. Something has to go in a second Land Raider Redeemer to justify it.
Yeah.
Could be Assault Intercessors. They're not that expensive in a list that has already invested a lot of points into certain eggs. So could be Assault Intercessors.
Dislike the. They're also just like 40 attacks. You can make them +1 wound, AP2. They real wounds. Just go and kill some random stuff, right?
Yeah, it's also 20 OC in a pinch.
That sure is.
Yeah.
You also murder every infantry model in range.
Yeah, that I do like the idea of murdering every infantry model in range. I'm not going to lie to you here. That is valuable to me.
They're also like not. Like, there's still 10 Space Marines, right?
It's not, like, insignificant to kill them.
Yeah.
Some armies can do it quickly. Some armies don't. Some armies just deal 20 mortal wounds in Overwatch. But...
Who would do that?
No one would
do that.
So, we've got a lot of room to fill this out. So far, we have a Land Raider Spear Tip. I'm going to leave the Assault Intercessors in as a placeholder. If I find something better to go in a Redeemer, I'm willing to look at it.
Okay.
But I do want a second unit that is melee capable in there. And I don't think I want a second Aggressor because they are just not the same without that specific character.
I agree. What if I want some trash in here.
We definitely are going to
I want some like scout snipers and stuff.
This is a Space Marine list. We knew there was going to be some lone ops, scout snipers, infiltrators sneaking in. So let's go ahead and just add them now.
Okay.
Minimum 1 scout sniper unit.
Agreed.
Boop, 75 points, they're in. I am also, just for the record, very willing to put agents in my Space Marines. I love my Space Marines. I love purity. So much that I made a seal out of it. But I still am very willing to take some other lone up friends.
Do we want the polymorphine chick?
The Calidus Assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead. We already have the points cost in for a reason.
Not Calidus.
So minimum 1 scout sniper squad.
What about an exaction squad?
I mean, might as well, right? Let's just put him in. I think I cut. And of course, I'm going to put in 1 infiltrator unit at a minimum. So allied units, Cali.
A Space Marine or an Imperium army that has 2 exaction squads and a Calidus color.
I'm starting with 1 exaction squad.
I just added the second one.
Well, you can copy and paste it real easy if we put another one in.
Sure can.
So if we do that, you're about to make that an infiltrator unit.
5 for these guys. I played Thomas Bird, and he had a 10-man scout sniper squad, and I really didn't hate it.
I think
it was like
cool.
very annoying to deal with.
It is quite cool. So that's 90?
90.
This total, what we've got on the screen right now, is 1480.
Okay, so we're at like 1 more big thing, or 2 more medium things, or more trash. So I want like 1 more thing, right?
At a minimum.
Yeah.
1 more like good damage dealing unit.
Yeah.
I
also don't. I want some range, maybe some lancers in here.
That's exactly where I'm about to
Yeah.
go. So we already have tanks. We already have the massive tanks that is going to get shot at.
Yep.
I definitely agree with you on a Lancer. And again, I want to prioritize units that don't hinge on Oath of Moment because Redeemers don't have to have Oath of Moment to get a lot of rerolls to wound. Assault Intercessors, Aggressors, and Melee all pack rerolls to wounds.
Yep.
Aggressors really like Oath for shooting.
Yes.
But they want to shoot a specific target.
Yep.
They can also overkill that target very easily. So Lancers reroll a hit, a wound, a damage inherently. Lancers for 145 are absolute money. Also, we already have tanks. And once you give your opponent tanks to shoot at, I am a lot more willing. I personally am inclined to just put 3 in.
I'm very okay with that.
I think Lancers are fantastic. There we go. 1 last Lancer. Now, if we do that, we are at 1915.
1915. So we have 85 points left?
We have 85 points left, which could go up if we cut any of the agents. Just to be clear.
I like the Exaction Squad, though.
An Exaction Squad, a nice cheap unit, is very valuable.
My soul tells me to just add another Scout Sniper Squad and call it a day.
We could, instead of that, add a Primaris Librarian, or a Phobos Librarian, to make an Infiltrator Squad unshootable. Because that is a very good... Because here's the thing. We've got 3 Lancers in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 Land Raider Redeemers willing to push up. We've got 2 melee units inside of them. Things we do not have here. We don't have any CP regen or free strat ability. We don't have a captain. We don't have any units that particularly want a captain either.
These Sultan Assessors maybe, but not really. It's not worth adding a captain. That unit's supposed to be cheap.
So funny enough, one of the reasons I don't mind a captain here is because if you take a Primaris captain, he would get reroll wounds with the squad.
With Finest Hour.
And then he can pop Finest Hour.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah?
No, that's
like a little... That's a little
How many
cheeky.
points is a Primaris captain?
So I believe he's going to fit. So let's just find out real quick. Primaris captain. So 80 points.
80 points.
80 points is going to fit and work. We're at 1995 at the moment. But I do want to just take a quick look at what enhancements we could give that. Because I would like this Assault Intercessor unit, if it's going to do this kind of job, I want it to hit a little harder than it does.
Yes.
The way to make that happen is to give it the Honor Vehement. Now let's just take a quick look at what the Honor Vehement actually does. What does the Honor Vehement do? Oh, wow. Somehow this is not in the list. So we're just going to go into the references to find out. Boop, boop, boop. Space Marines.
The new app is great, you guys.
The new app is actually
I feel like we say it every video, but like it actually is like shockingly very good.
Gladius Task Force. Enhancements. Honor Vehement. I want to make sure that I actually have it right what this guy does. Alright, so add 1 to the attacks and strength characteristic of the bearer, and 1 in Assault Doctrine, which this unit is often going to be. Then add 2 to attacks and strength instead.
So you get plus 5 attacks if you Finest Hours.
Yeah, so theoretically, a Space Marine captain. Because I really like making Space Marine captains hit harder than they should.
They're fun.
That is very enjoyable for me. I love just a generic Space Marine captain.
How many points is he's 95?
So he's 95.
With the Honor Vehement?
With the Honor Vehement, which is going to put us at 2010, a situation I will have to address shortly.
Yeah.
But for right now, a Primaris captain, let's just look at the melee weapons we can give him here. I say we give him a Power Fist. We could do a close combat power weapon, but I want the Power Fist because it's a little bit better in general. With Honor Vehement, this guy... and in Assault Doctrine, is 7 attacks at 10 to 2. If he's in Assault Doctrine, you do advance and charge, and if he's getting the same buff, the same strat that the 10 Assault Intercessors are going to want, that unit is going to be +1 to wound, +1 AP. So that's theoretically 7 attacks at 10, 3 to +1 to wound. Once a game, he can pop his Finest Hour, or his Funnest Hour. Add 3 to his attacks and gain devastating wounds. And he rerolls wounds.
So he's how many attacks?
That would take him to 10 attacks with the Power Fist at 10, 3, 2, dead wounds, twin linked, +1 to wound.
Jesus Christ.
That's the point when you're wounding just about everything on 2s where you reroll successes to fish. And
what?
That is a line I like to cross.
That guy is nuts.
That hits very hard.
That hits really hard.
I would like that.
That hits like 9th edition Succubus kind of hard.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
Good. So... I really... Captain, you inverted the I and the A. Sorry. But you spelled vehement right. I really like what we've got here so far. There's one problem. It's 2010. Not the year. That was the last time I wanted to take Vulcan. Yeah. But, I'm kidding. It came out like 2013.
So...
But, yeah, this list is 2010. Things that I like and things that are cuttable. This list has nothing it wants to leave behind besides Lancers. Like, we're pushing 2 Redeemers up. Yeah. They're loaded with dudes. And we've got some infiltrating stuff that's just, like, trying to be like, please, sir, shoot the vehicles. Things that I kind of want here. I hate to say this out loud.
Okay.
I kind of want a Tech Marine.
What?
What? We already have 2 Land Raiders and 3... Like, can I just look at what a Tech Marine costs real quick?
Sure. How many points is he?
Primaris Tech Marine is 65.
He is 65.
And if I can find a 75-point unit to cut, especially one that's about to be invalid anyways...
Okay, fine.
Come on. You know, I hate to say it out loud, but let me just look at what a Primaris Tech Marine does. I just want to read these abilities. So, Primaris Tech Marine, while it's within 3 inches of a vehicle, has lone operative. Love that.
Does he go Super Saiyan if you kill a vehicle?
Yes, he does. Can heal D3 lost wounds to a vehicle. Unfortunately, he gives it +1 to hit when he does that. +1 hit's not very interesting for Land Raider Redeemers. I don't mind a multi-multi hitting on 2s. But like,
killer missile and
a twin assault cannon.
Oh yeah, it's assault cannon.
It's a twin assault cannon.
It's like,
it's not bad.
Not terrible. It's not nothing.
It's 65 points. I like healing. And then if you ever kill a vehicle within 12 inches of him, he gets
angry.
He gets 7 attacks with his melee weapon, which is kind of funny because his melee weapon is 6. Weapon skill 3, but it's 6/2/2, so +3 attacks. And that is kind of nice. I am curious just what he can join. He can join Assault Intercessors, Servitors, Intercessor Squad. I don't see any rule that says he can join.
How is he with the Honor Vehement?
No. It's the captain. Get out of here. It's the captain. Captain holds the Honor Vehement, no one else. 65 points, I don't mind that. He's a cheap character who can just do things and sit in a spot if he needs to.
Just worth it.
I like healing Land Raiders a little bit. I like healing Lancers a little bit. We're going to have wounded tanks in this list.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's nothing to shoot besides 5 tanks. So yeah, I want that. And if we replace the Scout Sniper Squad, which you already have done, I hate to replace the Scout Sniper Squad, but I'm going to be honest here. Ever since GW said, hi guys, we're getting rid of this model, I have been less excited to put them on my list. And there's no reason for that. If you have Scout Snipers, please enjoy them. There are a lot of different ways to build this. Savor them. You know what? Maybe we'll get new models soon. Maybe we won't. Really, crossing my fingers for new Scouts.
I'm crossing the Rubicon for new Scouts.
Hey, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like a Calidus to still be our lone op unit. An Exaction Squad to be our cheap little dudes in reserve to go do a thing. We've got a 5-man Infiltrator Squad to just go find a point and try to screen out a little bit and hide. I wish that I could have put more no shoot me tech in here, but I'm going to be honest. If people are starting to shoot those things instead of the 5 tanks and the goodie contents, so be it. Right? So be it. If they leave my glorious double Land Raider Redeemers alive, I think I'm willing to make my peace with that. I think I'm willing to accept that.
The Land Raider Redeemers shoot shockingly hard.
Playing against one made me annoyed. More annoyed than I wanted to be. I would like to do that to someone.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
You just drive at your opponent and you're like, 1 CP shoot twice.
Now, this list has no indirect, which makes me a little sad because I'm an indirect gamer. But you know what? I think that Vulcan wanted us to drive into the middle with flamers, melt-a-guns, and chainswords.
Oh, you know what we're forgetting?
What's that?
Vulcan doesn't have anyone to join. He's just walking around by himself.
Correct.
We're just okay with that?
He's just going to hop in a transport with the Assault Intercessors. He's just going to jump out.
BOC-10?
Yeah, he's just going to go hide on the objective BOC-10 and say, come fight me with your trash. I learned from the school of Eldar and Guard that you don't need to attach your characters to anyone.
Yeah, it was pretty funny playing ATC with 3 not-attached characters.
Yeah, you're right. No, Vulcan has no one to join. The unit he would join, because I'm going to be honest, Assault Squads on foot and Command Squads have the same problem for me, where these units are not very good, and also we already know that they're going to sleep. Bad combo.
Yep.
He can join Infernus Marines, which are dope, and I do like the idea of.
No,
but I don't. They're not worth the points right now.
No,
because we'd have to buy an Infernus Squad and then a Rhino.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, or like 5 Infernus. Like it doesn't really.
Doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything for me.
At that point, we're spending a lot of points for 10 flamers.
And we already have a transport army right here.
And we're already spending the Overwatch every turn on a Redeemer, which is way better.
Yeah, I honestly think Vulcan is just chilling in a Land Raider Redeemer at the same time as the Assault Intercessors and the Primaris Captain. Yeah. That's 11 guys. Vulcan slots in. That's 12 guys. Yeah. We still have 2 spots, but like
no indirect in the game that's going to kill a Land Raider.
Yeah, Land Raider Redeemers will weather basically all the indirect in the game, however long they need to.
Yeah.
And a Tech Marine will heal the wounded one. And it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this right as is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it.
This list is fun.
This does look very fun to play. I want to be part of the Land Raider experience. At some point, we're going to stop putting Land Raiders in our lists here, but not today.
I like that. Like every time I read the Land Raider data sheet in every faction, I'm like, that's really not bad.
Here's the main thing.
Yeah.
I've been playing 40k for 15 years, Quinton, which is longer than you've been alive. It's not true. It's not true at all. But anyways, I never get to play with a Land Raider. Like, do you have any idea how rare it is that a Land Raider is something I can have a serious list conversation with?
They're like shockingly good.
I think the last time I played against a Land Raider at a tournament might have been like 6th edition. I'm sure I'm going to forget around one of a tournament that I forgot somewhere where there's a Land Raider and it died turn 1. No, you know what? Now that I'm saying this, I did once charge a Land Raider Achilles with 10 Thunderhammer Stormshield Terminators and then forget that it existed afterwards.
Yep.
Like, as an Achilles, as the Forged one. I'm just talking a good old-fashioned Land Raider Redeemer? Come on. In a tournament? It's been a while. I want to experience that joy. I have never played a Land Raider in a tournament. And I would very much like to experience that joy.
They're fun.
If these things ever come back in stock, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this. I love Lancers. I think they're fantastic. I love having them in my armies. I really like this Aggressor brick. I want to try it out. We don't have quite as much trash as we want, but there's so much generic re-rolling wounds in this list that I am happy.
Does every unit reroll wounds? Okay, he doesn't.
So the Tech Marine and Vulcan, we're going to give a pass on because they're solo dudes.
The Calibus actually don't.
Yeah, sure. The Assault Intercessors reroll wounds. The 2 Land Raiders will if Vulcan points at someone.
Yep.
The Aggressors will reroll against the Oath target. The 3 Lancers have a free reroll wound. I'm just tired of missing.
Yeah.
Like, no more. No more missing. I just want to hit. I want to hit and I want to wound and I want to make them take a save they're not comfortable with.
That seems good.
Yeah.
Seems real good.
You know what? Send it.
Send it. Done.
All right. This is the list, everyone. I'm going to be playing this live on YouTube. I'm excited for this. I don't know what I'm playing against yet, because that would have probably colored what the list was going to look like.
Yeah.
So if I play against, nothing but Avatar of Cain and Incarn, I'm going to be really sad about the amount of Strength 6 damage 2 that I brought.
It's just Manny's WTC list.
You know what? It's fine because I'm the one who paints, so I know that there isn't a second Wraith Knight in this house that has the right guns.
I was going to say.
But yeah, I honestly love this. I think this is going to be super fun. This is a pre-recorded video, in case you didn't notice, and will be released while I'm at the WTC in Belgium. But as soon as I'm back, I'm going to be playing a stream game against Nick. We'll see what spiky concoction he has come up with, and we'll see if I can purge it with the holy fire of the Emperor.
I have an idea.
What's that?
This versus the Tipmobile.
Oh, the Chaos Land Raider?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Land Raider fight.
Boy, it would be a shame if we had 2 different armies that were Land Raiders full of melee and only one of us could also kill a Land Raider. But that was the same person that had 2 Land Raiders. Boy, that would be a shame.
But do you have 10 Chaos Lords?
Nope, but I think each Assault Intercessor is going to kill one, so...
That's fair. each Assault Intercessor.
No, I'm kidding, but the captain's getting 3 by himself.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Alright, so that's it. That's the list. That's it for us. Thank you so much for watching this, everyone. Hopefully you really enjoyed this. We had a blast making it.
This was super fun.
I'm really excited to get this on the table. You will be seeing this list on stream on our YouTube channel shortly after this video comes out. So if you're watching this, maybe you were brought here by your love of Salamanders, make sure that you like this video, maybe even share with your friends, but also subscribe to the channel. Not only does this really help us grow, it really helps us make this kind of content for you, it also will get you notified every time we go live. So if you watch this video and you want to see this in action, because we're going to play a game with this, so that's going to be live. If you want to see it in action, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when I go live playing this Salamander list on stream against Nick's Chaos. So, thank you for watching, everyone. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.